Hi friends, and welcome to Hits and Pits with Ebola Cherries, the RuPaul's Drag Race recap show that just started, just now. Right now, we're doing it. We have a lot to go on because some stuff just ended, some stuff just happening, and like any drag queen on the internet, I gotta come and talk about, what the other drag queens on TV are doing. We're gonna jump off with Drag Race France just ended, and I have to say, overall, I loved Drag Race France. I thought they had really great fashion. They're so proud of their country, and you can kind of tell like the codification of language and things like that, where it really comes through that they have a real strong sense of like, this is French fashion, this is Parisian fashion, like they are the source. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna get into everything all at once. I'm gonna start this week with what's going on this week. So what just happened? Paloma won. Paloma's the queen of Drag Race France. I thought she was awesome throughout. Loved Soa Demuse as well. And in the top three, La Grande Dame, loved her eventually as she came into her own. She kind of became more open and kind of goofy and just kind of having a good time with it. And so like I really enjoyed her by the end of it as well. First I was like, oh, here's, she's like a paper doll or something. But then as it went on, I was like, oh, she is it. And oh my God, Soa Demuse starting off with the talent show, starting off with the singing, and just throughout the whole season, like she just says, just give it to me, because she just is living in like that puss energy, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I just really enjoyed her. Who else? Lolita Banana, loved her throughout. I thought she had some really great runways. I thought she was robbed several times. If we could be honest about that, I thought Lolita Banana was a really strong competitor throughout the season. And holy shit, we need to talk about the lip sync where she sent La Big Bertha home. That lip sync between the two of them, oh my God, that has like jumped to the top for me, like the top lip sync of any drag race, any franchise ever. I don't recall the song, it's in French. It seems like an opera from what I'm remembering a couple weeks ago. But La Big Bertha's performance of it was just so great. Lolita Banana, she's like shaving her jet head, going full G.I. Jane on that shit. Like, I was weeping. I wasn't even like, a single tear. I was just like, it was just like, it was so beautiful and just breathtaking. I really enjoyed all the girls from France. Ellipse got Miss Congeniality. I thought she had a really unique take on fashion. I thought she had like a really particular, like a voice with her fashions. Like I loved her finale look, the big sleeves. Cam Hugh, just started drag, little tiny, perfect looking, gorgeous doll. Not like the dolls, but like I'm talking about a literal, like a little baby doll. You just pick her right up, she's a little pocket, you just put her in your pocket, and then, anyway, gorgeous. La Brioche, really enjoyed her. She, to me, I don't know what, she's giving me, like we're on a show with French people, we're accentuating French stuff, and she's just giving me that extra little, like, you know what I mean? Like La Brioche, I really enjoyed her episodes and just kind of her journey and her sharing. Lova La Diva, I loved her, especially her, I'm not even doing hits and pits, we'll pick it up now. See, it's just started, I'm still figuring it out. Lova La Diva, her finale look with that like it came up the front, it was like a big around the neck, and then it came down and went around the back. I thought that she was gorgeous in the finale. I enjoyed her on the season as well as La Kahena. La Kahena, gone too soon, the pork chop of Drag Race France. I've enjoyed all of her stuff on Instagram, and she's been posting it. She's sickening. And I actually think that La Kahena, La Grande Dame, and Paloma all work at the same place, if I'm not mistaken. I think they all work at the same theater, the same gig, the same drag show there in France. So anyways, great season, ladies. This is how it's gonna be. We're gonna go through an episode in 5 minutes or less, okay? But we have a lot of stuff to cover. Drag Race France, loved it. I think Paloma's an awesome winner. Getting red for Paloma for winning. I have loved Canada's Drag Race. I think they have some of the strongest seasons of all the franchises in terms of casting the girls. Like, oh my goodness, I really find all of the casts from Canada very enjoyable. So let's go through them. Halal Babe went home first. Oh my good God. I'm like, should she have gone home first? I don't know who I would have gone home first other than her, but I was like, damn, I feel like, because her looks that she's been posting like that, and like the Egyptian goddess, dog head, big old titties, like that, stunning. Like her different stuff that she's posting. Also, she's kind of a daddy, and I'm like, in real life. So, what's up, Halal Bae? Miss Mosu went home next. She's giving me like, Americans are, you know, just kind of like loud and in your face and like, but she's got this like reserved kind of like cool energy. Again, I've been enjoying her Instagram and she's been posting Shelazon LaRue. Oh my goodness. I loved Shelazon LaRue. One of my favorite queens of the season. I just enjoyed her energy. I enjoyed kind of her presence with the other girls. I just thought that she was a lot of fun and like she helped other people have fun. And I think her look where I think she said she was the Star Woman, where it's just very simple. It was like a dark gown with lots of sequins and stars, and then she had the makeup gloves that was like a gradient coming up, and then the necklace, it was like a makeup gradient going down, and there was like a veil over the eyes. But it looked like stars, and it just looked like so cool. I thought it was a very simple look, but I thought that she looked gorgeous in that. Chaos was up next, and I just loved her fashions. I thought she had a really unique take. I don't know what they were talking about. Her feather dress was to me totally different than like the diamonds and the Argyle pattern dress or whatever. I just thought she was so endearing. She just was getting so nervous to be on TV, and I just thought, girl, I love you. Like Chaos, such a fun time. Lady Boom Boom. Lady Boom Boom. I thought Lady Boom Boom was fierce, and she grew on me as her episodes progressed, because she is that, I feel like she's that girl where if you need to like, if something crazy is happening in the room and you need somebody to be like, you know what I mean? She'd be the one that could catch your eye and be like, Her look that she did that last one, the elements where she was the stuff going through the wires, I thought that was sickening. I thought she had great looks. I thought she was a fun presence. In general, I just really enjoy the Canada Drag Race. Whole cast, the Miss Fierce Delicious being a huge baby is a funny ass storyline to me. She got her redemption right away. Love Bombay. I was actually following Bombay before, like a year ago, and I had done a mask, like it's my cartoon look. I did like mask titties. A couple days later, I saw that Bombay had done a mask bikini and mask panty look at the live gig that she was doing. And I said something ridiculous, like I was like, tweeted her, and I was like, hey Amber, was that you digging through my laundry? And I think I was like trying to be cute, but I don't think she thought it was funny. So anyways, Bombay, if you see this, hey, what's up, girl? And also, I was trying to be cute and funny. I wasn't trying to read. We can both wear mask titty bikini bras. Okay. Okay. Woo! All right. So next, what we have that just started is Drag Race Down Under. I wrote down more detailed notes for this, so we're gonna give Drag Under their little flowers and their little props. Episode 1, entrance looks. Anaconda, that's a hit, mama. She looked great. Faux Fur, her entrance look, that's a hit. It was like not lined, and I think it was cut more like a 2D image rather than like a 3D body. And she's having trouble with the hat, bless her heart. It's a hit for me. We're gonna spit that right out. Spanky's entrance look. See, I'm gonna give Spanky's entrance look a hit because I feel like Spanky's look is intentional, whereas Faux Fur's kind of unpolishedness was unintentional. So for me, Spanky coming in, and she's saying it as she's entering, she's telling you, the dress is too short and the ass is hanging out. It's too low at the top and the boobs are hanging out. She's saying it's all the wrong things you don't want to do. So for that reason, I'm like, she's giving it. She's giving exactly what. She's not trying to be like a super glam queen. Part of her performance, part of her drag is that roughness and that rough quality. So it's a hit for her. Spanky Jackson, it's a hit. Beverly's entrance, Beverly Kills, I think it was that green faux hawk with like the black and green chaps, and that's a hit for me. But her personality, right when she comes in, she's reading her personality's a pit. I'm not enjoying it. I get that you can be young and like vivacious and getting out there and having your own viewpoint, but like to just come in and just be just rude, it just was like, all right, like let's manufacture some drama right off the bat. Anyway, mini entrance, hers was a hit for me, and I liked her entrance because I felt like she wasn't dressed up in a costume. She's literally in that like drag racer girl. She's literally in that like the drag race outfit where she's like at a racetrack or whatever. But it didn't feel costumey to me, and that's like Minnie in general. I feel like she has that quality of it's not something that she's like foreign to. She's wearing just something that's like her clothes, which is different than wearing like a costume or like getting in drag. Like some of these other girls, when they get in drag, they're like, but Minnie's just natural. She's just wearing what is natural to her and what she does. So like, I really appreciated that. It's a hit. Molly Poppins. See, she's my girl that I was following before the season started. That I was like, Molly Poppins. You know what I mean? I felt cool for already knowing that a Down Under queen before they had announced it. It's a hit for me. It's her neon trippy girly like. She says it's drugs, it's bright colors, it's psychedelic, and she kind of just has that going on. I enjoyed it. Yuri entrance, it's a hit. Yuri sickening. I only wrote hit. I just was like, that's it. No more detail. Humara's entrance, okay, sorry gal, it's a pit for me, but let me tell you why. It's because I'm not sure what I'm necessarily seeing. It's like there's like a top, and okay, so we're wearing some leggings, okay? And then the top part, I'm not quite exactly sure I'm looking at. There's patches and like scraps and like stuff going on, but it's like, is it a shirt? Is it a blouse? Is it a tunic? Is it a, like, I didn't quite know what I was looking at. And I liked it right when I first saw it, but then as I kept looking at it, I'm like, I don't know what I'm seeing. And for that reason, I am giving it a pick. But I love you for it. I love everybody. Aubrey Have came in looking like psychedelic housewife, and for me, it's a pit. But it's because I come from the land of theater as a professional theater artist for like 20 years, and to me, it looked like a theater costume. And so for that reason, it didn't, like the same way that, my boobies. The same way that Minnie Cooper didn't look like she was even in drag, she just looked like she was wearing her clothes for that day. I felt like Aubrey Have was wearing a costume, and as an actor myself, or as somebody that's a performer myself, I felt like the costume was wearing her, rather than her being like, this is who I am, da da da. I felt like it just was costumey. That's all I got. Anyway, and then Queen Kong, it's a hit. It's a hit, mama. She had that, she had like a nude under kind of bodysuit situation, I think a little cape that was King Kong, like he's holding her in the hand. So King Kong, she's Queen Kong. It's like a King Kong reference. I loved that. It's campy. The only thing about her is that I'm like, it's a soft hit for me, is because what's going on with that wig? It seemed like a little like wispy, two little tracks of hair coming up on top. And granted, as a long hair, just I don't like necessarily to do these kind of styles. I don't know if I can read, but it just seemed like the wig was not attached to the rest of the costume. It wasn't the same colors. It wasn't like, it was a little thin. I don't know. Anyway, Queen Kong is a babe. And they're having this like age conversation, and I was like, for real? Like we're really having this like, oh no, like, oh, the old people and the young people, like, is that a real thing that happens? Like, who cares? Who cares? What is this age? Oh, you guys are old. Oh, you guys are too young. Like, oof, I'm over it. Rupaul coming on the runway, it's a hit. I thought she looked great. The makeup was really colorful. The hair was great. That like, it was like a, what was that RuPaul was wearing? You know, it was like a sash, but it was like one of those, you know, like when the Democrats, like Nancy Pelosi, wore all those African, was it like a scarf or like a tunic? I don't know the name of it. African kind of tribal thing. That's what that reminded me of. She looked great. She looked great. It didn't look necessarily it looked like a costume. She looked great, but it looked like she was wearing something that she was like. Then they're talking about the runways. These are the hits. We got, oh right, Beverly came out first. She's in that plastic, because they had to do a design challenge first. They had to do a construction challenge of unconventional material. So they just jumped right into the madness there. Anyways, Beverly came out in this like plastic little kind of mini skirt kind of moment. Hanaconda came out in just a corset with some shit glued on it, but she had wings and she was very pretty, so it's a hit. Minnie was in the, she had the screen as a purse, which was hilarious. Yeah, she came out in like a space lady holding like an attaché case or a purse, you know, big old purse clutch of a broken TV monitor. I just thought that she was great. Because she looks like she's not in drag. She looks like she's just like, I'm a space chick. Like she really sells the whole fantasy in such a way that I feel like sometimes less experienced queens have trouble like wearing the garments. Anyway, Molly Poppins did the grass bush. Mama, the way she had those boobies in that top and that skirt with the big feathers on the bottom, it's a hit. I thought she looked great. And I think did she win the challenge? She did. I think she did win that challenge. Anyway, and then Yuri came out in the plastic see-through blue gown and she looked great. It was a hit. So then the pits for me are, poor Aubrey was doing like a denim bodysuit with some straps to ankles and wrists, but I didn't quite get it. It's a pit. Queen Kong is like a bodysuit, it's like a corset with like some shit on it. I was not selling it. It was like, it wasn't selling because who was it that was saying like, was it on Art Simone's Kick-On where they were like, for me, I don't know if it was just that I could see the entire exposed corset or like it was just very shady. But I agreed with that because I was like, you couldn't just like put some more shit on there. I don't know. Oh my God, Spanky's plastic pool, tube, pantsless. Like that shit was a mess. Like whereas her aesthetic was rough and her entrance look, Spanky's runway, I was like, ooh, sorry girl, that's a pit. And then Faux had such a cute dress going on while they were showing the workroom. And then when she came out and all the feathers were like chopped down, I was like, no girl, don't do that. Like where did because what was interesting about that was the movement of kind of how these things were gonna like move as she walked and maybe give a little, you know, kind of different zhuzh, but it was so sheared down. And then with like, she looked like she was wearing a diaper. Like they were talking about the black panty, but I was like, I think the hip shape made her look like she was wearing a diaper, and it just was not. It was not it. Bless her heart. Mara, what did Mara wear? It's a pit. Sorry, girl. All right, so that's episode 1. We're giving Drag Race down under their props here because I feel like they get shit on a lot. Episode 1, RuPaul looks good. Simple updo. Great. What's going on with Michelle? Oh my God, Michelle's looking like she's out of fucking Twisted Sister or whatever. She looked like Dee Snider's like literal sister. I was living for it. Okay. And then Lucy Lawless. I love her. First of all, Xena, Lucy Lawless, it's over. But there was some like when RuPaul introduced her and she goes, "Thank you for gracing our country with your presence, RuPaul." I was like, bitch, is there like a tension on the set? Because I feel like, you know, Americans can go other places and, you know, probably act very grand or whatever, probably act very like large and in charge of the situation. And sometimes I feel like, and I felt like this on the season 1 too, sometimes I feel like there's a tension between RuPaul and Michelle and then Reese and then whoever else is a panelist from Down Under. Sometimes I feel like there's this like, are you fucking for real? So Lucy Lawless, I just felt like was not amused with any of the proceedings today. And she was sitting there like, she's annoyed at the proceedings, but then she's trying to be very supportive to the girls. So I don't know, I just love Lucy Lawless. And maybe I just am wanting her to be like, but it did seem to me like there was this little, like they had moments of going back and forth and having this kind of weird tension. All right, here we go. Then there are looks on the runway. Molly did a mantis. It kind of gave me Is She Hungry with that face plate. It was a hit for me. It was a hit. Yeah, Queen Kong is giving me like a Rorschach test. I guess it's like a moth or something, or like a, but the pads is kind of floppy. It's not, the structure of it was not, it either should be stable or it should flap in a similar manner, but it just felt like, it just was a pit for me. It just didn't come together. I was like, what am I looking at? I wrote down Rorschach test. I didn't quite get that it was a moth, but also I live in Utah in the United States, so maybe we just don't have moths that look like that, so maybe the reference is just not, yeah, no, okay. Aubrey Have looked like Willem dressed up as, etc.'s entrance look from season 1. I don't know if it was inspired by etc. or if it's inspired by the same source material as etc. So anyways, I don't know what she was giving. It looked great. It was a hit. Minnie in that butterfly little, I don't know what, classic like 50s, 40s or 50s kind of silhouette where it's like kind of tight around the bodice and then kind of goes out to a big poodle skirt. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's giving that kind of classic moment. I think it's a little shoulder wrap. She just looks so cute and it was like brought up into the hair. Again, I feel like she's not wearing clothes. I'm like, this is something that she wore, you know, to go to the theater that night or whatever. Like I feel like it's so effortless that it's just like she's not even in drag. Beverly came out as looking like a latex mosquito to me, looking like when you order it off the internet and then it gets there. That's what it reminded me of. And Michelle, I wrote down, what you gonna do with all that thorax? I was like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. That is so funny. What you gonna do with all that thorax? Yeah, Beverly looked like a children's theater show. I didn't like it. Pamara giving Sparkle Cicada. I feel like I just didn't give Pamara the pits. I enjoyed Pamara so much, but the Sparkle Cicada was not working. Spanky is giving, she's like a fly, but she's also a flapper. It has like a structured cage around it. I think cage was the theme of the runway. But again, Spanky it was simple, and maybe it's not fashion like some of the other girls were giving fashion, but the simplicity of it, plus her selling it, just as her drag, she's doing this like, you know, like doing a crazy fly with throw up face, but she was selling it, she was living, and for that reason, it's a hit because she made me like it. You know what I mean? Hanaconda, oh my God. Was Hanaconda robbed? She did great in that acting challenge. Oh man, that acting challenge. I couldn't even watch that. It was only like 5 minutes. I was like, bless her heart. I didn't even know what was going on. I did not even know what was going on. Anyway, Hanaconda was funny in the thing, and then she also was this like long feather antennas. Her makeup was gorgeous. That she's like a 20s, like a kind of grande dame lady, you know, in the club or whatever. Like, I thought she was gorgeous, and it was very clear what she was. It was just like an elevated style design choice. I just thought that she might have been robbed. She might have been robbed, because I think Spanky won this night, and I think for me, I would have given it to Hannah, but you know, anyway, whatever. Then Yuri came out as a neon mantis. I thought the outfit was really gorgeous, but I felt like she had a hard time walking in it. Like, I felt like she's like, oh, now I gotta come walk over here. Thriller, now I gotta come walk over here. Scythe arms, like it just felt stiff. I feel like when she kind of opens up a little bit and releases some of this energy, it's gonna be probably a little better for her. But the look is a hit for sure. And then I wrote Queen 8 in the lip sync. Queen really performed well. She was just fluid, she's in command. I didn't feel like she was catching up to the music or that she didn't quite know where she was going. She always was like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing So it had a beginning, a middle, and end, and she just really had that presence. And bless Aubrey. I think Aubrey went home. Bless her heart. Let's see what else. See episode 3. All right, so we're going in. Rue looks great, but don't look too hard from the waist down. It's a hit. Beverly and Pamara is a hit. They did a joke about Hobbit Lives Matter, and I said, yikes. You don't make fun of Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean? Because then that gets into the whole, Blue Lives Matter thing. No, they don't. Number one, no, they don't. And then to make a joke out of something that is incredibly important to this time frame that we're living in now, to this like new paradigm that we're trying to get this world into. I just thought that was a really poor taste of a joke. I thought they were all right though in their drag brunch challenge. Hannah and Molly, they did a little intro song. I felt like we were in really good hands with them. I never felt nervous, and I wrote down great, and I think they were the ones that, I wrote were great. The first ones were meh, Beverly and Tamara. I might have said something else a minute ago, but they were I didn't like that joke. Hannah and Molly came in and they did great, and I might have thought they did great because the other ones were so meh. Then you had Queen Kong and Minnie, and after their feedback from the other thing, it seemed like Minnie pulled all the way back, and then Queen Kong took over everything, or it could have just been how they edited it, but it seemed one-sided to Queen Kong in terms of who was holding host position, who was holding the material. And then Spanky and Yuri came out, and Yuri had the eye problems coming into makeup at the last minute, and they come out and I think they just had the most fun. I think they had the most jokes. They were working with each other, they were listening to each other, and I wrote down that they would win, and they did win. So really quick, then they had the red runway. Beverly, she's like a red like see-through with a black handle on the head. I just thought that this looked like a community theater production. Like, to me, this did not look and she looked uncomfortable in it. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, look at my sleeves, but I don't know how to wear them. It was a pit for me. Mama. Then you have Pomara come out. Oh my God. Pomara. I loved this look. It is a total hit for me. Her hair and her makeup was just gorgeous. The shade of red that she chose was more towards the like orangey side of red. And she just looked so gorgeous, and she had this like indigenous print, but it was kind of like a peplum or a hibation or something, and then it was like a fuller like tulle skirt underneath, and she just was like this big beautiful like red cloud, and it was giving me the indigenous patterns, and it was giving me all this stuff. I thought this was gorgeous. I thought that she maybe was one of my favorite looks of the night. I thought Pomara looked great in that. Anaconda did, she's dressed up as Latex Dynasty is what I wrote. She's giving like a business suit but in latex, and she looked great as well. It's a hit. Molly came out. Oh, she came out with that boa that all kind of bunched around. She looked like one of those like flower formations, like a Valentine's flower formation. And then as it kind of changed and she moved the boa around, you could kind of see that it was this, just like, it was like a red bodysuit just strapped in these boots. I thought she looked great though. I thought this was a cool look. I thought she entered in a cool way and then changed as she went. Even though it was different and kind of simple, like I thought that it made her look awesome. She's obviously a little tiny person, but her proportions of her legs and the way that came up to the skirt or to the panty of the red thing, I thought that she looked great. I thought that whole thing was really cool. Queen Kong, giving like a devil. She's saying she's the volcano, like on Moana. I thought she was really in command of the stage. She really did have a different bearing. I think it was a hit for me. She looked great. Oh, bless her heart. Minnie came out in a gorgeous red gown, and I loved the message because it was the red AIDS ribbon, and she talked about her connections in her life and her friends. It was very moving. Just as a garment, it was like there was not anybody that could tell her to just like pull it back just a little bit or pull it up or just do something. Like, it just seemed like it was too low on the body, and if it just was up a little bit more, it would have covered the boobies. We wouldn't have felt like, ooh, because it gives you that feeling of like, like, oh my goodness, I'm nervous for you because your titties are out, girl. Anyway, it's a hit. Spanky came out. Oh my God, girl, I don't know what that was. Bless her heart. She is not the fashion queen. And she even says, I'm giving you fashion. And I was like, where's the fashion? Like, the bodice was ill-fitting. The skirt is a weird length. It's like high in the front, low in the back. It's lined weird. You're seeing like the weird lining of it. And then the little pock marks or whatever, those like zits that were on it, it looked like stuff was trying to come out of it. Like, I don't know. It was not working for me. She did not. Ooh, it's a pit. Yuri came out looking in a different makeup, looking devilish and just blended as AF. It's a hit. Yuri looking great. Everybody was in the bottom except for the ones that won, which was Spanky and Yuri. That was kind of a gag. I thought it was gonna be tops and bottoms, but they were like, you just won, everybody else is in the bottom. I kind of gagged. I did not see that one coming. So now let's get into Secret Celebrity Drag Race that just started this last Friday. I thought it was, first of all, overall, it was just really fun. it's fun to have the audience guessing who the celebrities are. Anyway, Poppy Love doing Alanis. First of all, like, yes, give me a 90s rock moment, 90s rock chick moment. I don't know who Poppy Love is. They did win the challenge, but giving me, you know, the tattoos, giving me a musician, giving me a guy that's in a band, couldn't tell you. I have to keep looking. So then Chakra 7 comes out and does Shaka Khan. I thought she did great. I think that she was talking about everybody knows who she is, and she hasn't done this kind of performance since she was a kid. So I'm thinking, my guess, that Chakra 7 is Kim Fields. Come on, Kim Fields? I think it's gonna be her. Anyway, that's my guess. Donna Bellissima came out, did Nicki Minaj. That's obviously Daniel Francese. You go, Glenn Coco. Anyway, I'm sure that she does not tire of hearing that. So, you go. All right. Then Millie Von Sunshine came out with the Ava Max song. She's giving me child actor, giving me obviously somebody that is well versed in performing, comfortable on the stage. I can't tell who it is though, but they are very heavily obscuring this person's features. So they're doing almost like a kabuki makeup to make it very obvious that we don't know who this is. So then we had Jackie Wood come out, did Lizzo, giving me a raspy voice, giving me no rhythm, giving me older gentlemen, giving me I don't know who. So Electra Owl came out and did the Pink number. My first thought when Electra Owl came out was that it was like she's giving me like a housewife, like maybe one of the Beverly Hills housewives, or then as she was talking, I think it might be Kathy Lee Gifford. You know what I mean? Her voice, her way of talking, she's giving me Kathy Lee Gifford maybe. Then Thirsty Von Trapp comes out, does Pussycat Dolls, says they're a child actor. Let me tell you exactly who this is. It's Ugly Betty's little brother. It's Ugly Betty's little brother that's on that new show now. It's on Hacks. Ugly Betty's little brother that's on Hacks now. It's definitely her, okay? I know, I could tell, right? Then Fabulosity comes out, does Mary J. Blige. Literally the second she spoke, I'm like, that's Loretta Devine. And I kind of tell, like her transformation of makeup wasn't like Millie Von Sunshine, where it's like a completely different look. So I could kind of tell it's her, but as soon as she opened her mouth, I was like, that is Loretta Devine, mama. There is nobody that has that voice, that has that placement, that sound. Like, she's iconic. Loretta Devine. And then obviously we found out that it was. Chick LaFay comes out and does a Sierra number. Chick LaFay, it was Candy. It was like doing Candy and then licked the lollipop at the end of it. He also kind of giving fierce and dance moves. That's definitely that Glee kid. You can tell because it's that same mouth. It's the Glee kid that was the kid in the wheelchair. Anyways, my thoughts about this, it was such a fun episode. I can't wait for the rest of this Super Celebrity Drag Race. What a fun thing to be like, almost like the Masked Singer or something. We're along for the ride with you. So that was fun. And I just was like, damn, RuPaul, that is cold-blooded. How are you gonna tell Loretta Devine to sashay away on the first episode? Okay? Loretta Devine joining like the pork chop loading dock. You know what I mean? And what else? And I dressed like this in my little sparkly with my red hair. I didn't have an auburn necessarily, but because of All-Star 7 had just wrapped up a week or two ago, and I just really enjoyed this whole season. I just thought I would kind of talk about the girls for a second. Like Evie, I think that Evie is one of the most clever queens in terms of having her original voice. Like you know that she didn't get her inspiration from somebody else. She might draw inspiration from different sources, but you're getting an Evie Oddly originally, being like she has the clearest voice of any of the girls, because it's in the name. If you're gonna say you're Evie Oddly, then you have to be oddly, but then you have to still be fashion. You know what I mean? And she just brings it together. She's gorgeous every time this season. I'm trying to think her yarn knitting needles with the long hair, the glowing mushrooms. Oh my God. I loved her when she was giving, thanks for the shout out, Evie. When you were doing the red hair wig that everybody was dogging on, I was like, I knew that was a personal shout out to me personally in my profile picture. So I lived for that. That was my favorite. And just in general, I feel like Evie is like, love Evie. Fucking love Evie, dude. I thought that Vivian did awesome this season at placing herself in the winners. Like she had a whole storyline where she put herself on par with Jinx Monsoon, the winner. And she's like, yep, I'm walking tall, I'm walking with the queens, I'm the one. You know what I mean? So I thought that she was great. Jada, I just fucking love Jada. I feel like I would love to hang out with her, obviously. She just seems like a blast. She's so polished and so put together and so pretty. And just so much fun. You know what I mean? Like the way that she just kind of goes into the challenges and is like, whatever. Like Snatch Game, her prince, sexy. You know what I mean? Like she is sexy. She's dead sexy. Loved Jada and loved that she got to come back. And I have to say, if I'm gonna allow anybody to use the title of the Quarantine Queen, I'm gonna give it to Jada in her performance that she did of that, because you know she did win in her living room, so she can be a quarantine queen too. There's only one the quarantine queen, so watch out, bitch. Raja, thought Raja was sickening throughout the season. I feel like Raja's who I want to, be in like a couple of years here, a year or two. Just give me some wine, let's fucking vibe and just hang out, create some sickening looks. Like her comfortability of just kind of going, let's see what this does, let's see what that does. Obviously the big gold one that she did, and I liked it was like a, I don't know, Burning Man. It was like the scraps of fabric that was all kind of, she just came out there and served it and just made it. So she took a look that was maybe but it was like she made it hers, and that's just how she was whenever she's performing or whenever she's doing it. She's like, boom, that laser dress, sickening. Raja just gave it. Anyway, Trinity, I thought the coolest thing that Trinity did on this season was literally just get out there and be She-Devil by night in the day. You know what I mean? Like she was trolling the whole fan base so hard with that. She's doing it on Snatch Game. She did multiple references to a She-Devil. Anyways, sickening trolling. Monet, loved Monet on this season. I just think from the first time I watched Monet to now, like I just think that there are fewer queens that are just more likable. Monet is just so fucking likable. And her just kind of like when Jada's like, oh, Monet's over there and got the same amount of stars, and she's like, Jada, shut up! She's like trying to play this social game. She's trying to like make alliances, like that moment with her and Trinity. And then Jinx comes over and is like, what are you guys talking about? Making alliances? Anyway, I just thought Monet was a lot of fun throughout the whole thing. Her singing opera at the end, as a singer myself, I mean, I'm a tenor, I'm not a bass. She gave a professional opera singer level quality. Like, I think that she was nervous about it, or you know what I mean? She's like, I don't know if people want to hear this, but I was blown away. I was blown away by what she gave, because she's never really shown that. And so, anyways, it was fun to watch her throughout the season. I thought that she had some great looks. Yeah, Monet is great. Shay, oh my God. They're in that acting challenge and they're like, will you please state your name? Halle Berry. Halle Berry, shut up. That is so funny. And just like deadpan. Halle Berry. I think that Shay's lip sync outfit on that first lip sync is the most sickening thing that anybody has ever worn on Drag Race ever. That dress that kind of came up but had like the flowy that went down. Oh, I think that is the prettiest thing, and she wore it for a lip sync, mama. Like that is like, oh, it's just mwah. Like, and Shay really, really brought just gorgeous, gorgeous looks throughout the season. That gardening look that she's saying was like her grandma. I want to wear that every day. That's gorgeous. And then I also thought it was funny that she had 1 star throughout the season, because I don't know if this is like, I don't know if she's still getting sued by RuPaul, so I'm like, she's not gonna win this thing. But then when she got the stars at the end, she got to go to the finale. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Like, she was sickening. She ate. I think she performed really well throughout the thing too. Really enjoy her. Get her soap. It smells really good. Then Jinx, the winner. Hey, baby. Jinx. This is my Jinx look. Oh, my big boo. Oh. Okay, what do you say about Jinx? Snatch Game. How are you gonna beat that Snatch Game? How are you gonna ever have anybody do Snatch Game again? Her kind of be like, no, Dave, you didn't kill me. No, it's not your fault, Dave. Like, I was shitting my pants. Like, we all were. I thought that she was having fun, even like backstage. Like when she was having that meltdown during the sewing challenge, and when she was like playing with the other girls, she's like eating peanut butter. She's just being goofy. Like to me, what it felt like was she was a pro that is so comfortable that now can be comfortable in the environment of working. I just enjoyed her presence throughout the season. Something that I still say every fucking day, like 92 times, when her pig ear fell off and she's like, Jesus Christ! And for me, I don't know how that's how she really said it, but for me, it keeps getting higher and higher each time, just like, Jesus Christ! So anyways, bloop. All-Star 7 was such a great time. Loved it. This look is for it, and bloop. That's your hits and pits. It'll be shorter than this when I'm not trying to cover so much stuff at once. Hey, bye.